Hello everyone, welcome to the next lecture video on the chapter number 2, Input, Output and Memory Devices. In the lecture number 6, we will be discussing the memory devices. The secondary memory devices that we are going to discuss in today's class are hard disk, optical disks, floppy disks, zip drive, flash drives or pen drives. So the secondary memory is a kind of storage device that is also known as the backup storage. Why it is called as a backup storage? Because if something needs to be stored permanently onto the computer, it has to be stored onto the secondary memory devices. So permanent storage has been given by the secondary storage device. So that's why it is called as a backup storage. So these devices are normally small depending upon the type of memory they are going to store. For example, these devices are normally very slow when compared to the primary device. So when we compare the primary device and the secondary devices, that is storage devices, the secondary storage devices are larger in size compared to the primary in terms of memory, and the access time is slower than that of the primary storage device. Now, what is that access time? The time that is required to access the information or a file to be accessed from one place and bought that file. So we need to bring that file to the computer memory, that is for the processing CPU. So that time is more in the secondary storage devices. But whereas in the primary storage devices, the amount of time that is being consumed by the accessing or getting the information to the CPU is less. So these devices are very slow compared to the primary storage. Now the data on the secondary storage device is not directly accessed for processing. When the data need to be accessed, it has to be transferred from secondary memory. From where it needs to be transferred? From secondary memory to where? To the main memory. That is, from the hard disk it needs to be transferred to the RAM. Then RAM will give the data to the CPU by using intermediate memories like registers or cache memory. So cache memory, we will talk about it later, which is also called as cache memory. The size of the secondary memory or secondary storage device is normally very large because of its capacity, and the cost is also reasonable compared to the cache memory and the RAM and other kind of memory that are available, register memory. Now categorizing the secondary storage devices or memory devices, we have magnetic storage type and optical storage type, that is magnetic storage medium and optical storage medium or media. The magnetic storage consists of magnetic storage tapes. I will show you the diagram. Magnetic disk, which includes hard disk and floppy disk. Then optical storage media includes CD-ROM, rewritable optical disk, DVD, warm disk, zip drives, which we will be exploring in this class. Moving ahead, the magnetic storage device consists of magnetic tapes like this. There will be a reading writing head that you are seeing. Like in the stereo cassette, you have a stereo tape moving and the reading writing head will be reading the information. So it looks like a music cassette with the magnetic coating. It provides sequential access. Sequential means one after another. Okay, not random access. Random means we can jump to any place. Now considering the best example of sequential and random access, before your MP3 CDs were being invented, we are using the tape recorders. In the tape recorders, we need to put the stereo cassette. That stereo cassette are allowing us only to access one song at a time. I cannot jump to another song. If I want to jump, I need to do a fast forward. Okay, I need to forward the song. So in that way, I can jump from one place to the another place, not directly, but one after another. But when the MP3 cassettes were being invented, you can jump to one song to the another song by just clicking on next button, or you can just click on the song number and you can jump to the particular number. Nowadays in mobile phones also you find it, you need not to play the music in order, you can jump from one song to the another song very easily. That is called as sequential and random access. In the sequential, one after another, in the random you can jump to the any location. So the information is stored in the sequential in the type of stereo or magnetic storage devices. It does not provide ease of access to desired data at the desired place. Now this is the diagram that shows you stereo cassettes moving from one head, and reading and writing head is reading the information, and the other tape is rotating to get the tape at the end. Okay, so this is the image that is showing us how reading and writing will take place in the hard disk. This is related to stereo cassettes, this is related to the hard disk. See, reading of the bits has been done. So bits in one direction represent 0 and in another direction represents 1. This is reading head and this is writing head. Okay, that's the difference in the hard disk. Moving to the category that we were talking in the previous slide, that is hard disk, or simply we can call it as a disk drive. The hard disk is a magnetic disk on which you can store computer data or information. So the hard disk is directly accessed by the storage medium. So this means you can store and retrieve the data randomly. So you can read and write the information directly. So you are seeing an overview of the hard disk, which consists of the plates that are called as the disks. There is a reading and writing arm that you are seeing, and the anchor which is moving, and this is a coil which magnetizes the area. There are different things: connector, logical board for performing, platars, so that is plates, reading and writing head, intersection heads that you see over here, the spindle which is used to rotate the magnetic disc. All the things are there. We'll be seeing in the next diagram. So this is the intersection which consists of so many things. The reading, writing arm and the disc. All these are going to help us to perform read and write operation onto the hard disk. When we talk about the intersection of the hard disk, the data is arranged as a series of concentric rings. You see the rings that are available, concentric rings that are available. Each ring is called as track. So each ring you call it as a track, and this track is divided into sub numbers that is called as sectors. You can see the sectors. Track sector, this is entire sector is this. So each sector is going to hold a specific number of data elements. The data elements are either stored in terms of bytes or in terms of characters. So the reading writing armor will help to read and write the information onto the disk. The secondary storage device, that is the magnetic disk storage device, the most popular medium of direct access is this. The data can be written and read and changed many times. That is faster than the magnetic disk can be done. So magnetic disk is a thin circular metal plate coated both sides with the magnetic material. So you see that this The real view is been shown in this diagram. That is how it looks. So we talked about tracks, the entire tracks, okay, sectors, okay, the block, entire block of memory. So this either spindle, that is rotating head, you can call it as cylinder. All these are the cylinders that are available. So different reading and writing arms that you have seen in the diagram over here. This is the reading writing arm. Okay, accuter we will call it as. So the type of magnetic disk can be, it is a long term memory that can store the data for very longer duration. Non-volatile storage, that means even if the power is turned off, the data is saved or preserved for a longer duration. Large, inexpensive, slow in access level or level of storage hierarchy. Then we have a magnetic disk which consists of a collection of platars that we have seen the plates. It uses a thicker metallic platars for the storage faster than the floppy disk. The floppy disk looks like this. Your generation has not seen this floppy disk in the existence, but I have the opportunity to handle this floppy disk. So this floppy disk consists of a single flat piece of circular plastic that is been there, coated actually with a metal oxide and enclosed in a case that may consist of vinyl or a plastic cover. The plastic cover which is protecting the film. A storage which is provided in MB only, not in GB. Around 24 MB, 20 MB, okay, 5 MB of storage, because that time the data was not in large number, it was only in terms of files, where the files are in only MBs, not the cassettes or not the video one, only the data format was available. So this is the moment when the when the compact disc is been inserted into the computer. This rotator will rotate and it will be accessing the information that is there on the flexible thin film, which is rotating, and it has been coated by the magnetic coating with a metal hub placed on the center, and the protection from getting it scratched is been provided by the liners. So this is how the floppy disk can be inserted onto the system. When it is inserted, it is available to perform read and write operation. The next kind of memory device is the optical disk. The word optical is consisting of a type of optical material which is having certain reflection. So optical discs, not discs. So optical discs are the hard plastic discs which stores data when a laser beam, which is a microscopic hole, is being placed on the disc by using a laser beam, so onto the layer which is inside the plastic. Thus we can say we burn a disc when we record the data onto the disc. So what we tell when we write the information? When we write the information onto the CDs or DVDs or any optical storage devices, we will call we have burned the data or recorded the data. Okay. There are different types of optical memory which consist of CD-ROM. ROM means a device which is used to read or write the information. That's like a device which holds the CD, that is shown in the diagram. CD-R writable, CD-RW rewritable, DVD-ROM, DVD writable, DVD rewritables, all this. So to read CDs or DVDs, we require a ROM, which is for CDs we'll call it as CD-ROM, for DVDs we'll call it as DVD-ROM. This is an exact view of how the CD-ROMs will look like. Okay. The compact disc, that is CD, stands for the compact disc. It is used to read CD. So the device that is going to read the information is called as the CD-ROM, which is required for the CDs to access the information. So accessing the data from a CD-ROM is quite bit faster than the floppy disk and even in hard disk also. Any information or the data that is stored onto the CDs can be erased and rewritten or written on with the help of a special device called as CD writer. Okay, so it writes the information. What process we'll call it is burning. So R stands for recordable or writable, which is a blank CD can be burnt only once. So you see R on the CDs, so it can be burnt only once. You see RW on the CDs or DVDs, it is rewritable or re-recordable. So which a blank CD can be recorded, erased, re-recorded on many times depending upon how long it can take the information. So what does a laser is doing in reading of information? So there are different steps. So in the step number 1, when I am reading or writing the information, a laser diode shines a light of beam onto the disk. So this is how. When it finds a pit, it means a hole. The pit represents the 0. So the prism senses or the laser beam senses by the help of the light, it is a pit which represents a 0. That is a binary data or digital information. In the step number 2, when it is moving ahead, the prism takes, if the light strikes a pit and it scatters, if the light strikes a land, it is reflected. Okay, shining and reflection, scattering and reflecting back towards the diode will represent it as a 1. See, reflection is back. So there is no reflection over here. There is a pit. Okay, 0 and 1. That's how the CD will work. Okay, burning can be done like this only. If you need to represent the 0, it will be putting a pit or a hole onto the layer that you are seeing. This particular layer has been intersected over here. And when you want to represent 1, there will be no pit or it is left. So reflected light is detected to the light sensing diode, which sends the digital signal of 1 to computer. Absence of reflected light is read as digital signal 0. So there is absence over here, which is read as 0. There is presence of reflection, that will call it as representation of 1. Talking about in terms of memory, the CDs were invented or released in 1982 with a 700 MB of storage device basically used for music data. A CD is equivalent to 500 floppy disks. Coming to DVDs, digital versatile disc, which was invented in late 90s, can consist of capacity and about 4.7 GB used for videos and data. One DVD is equivalent to 7 CDs. Now it's a generation of Blu-ray disc which was invented in 2006, used by a special reader called Blu-ray ROM. So, and about 25 GB of information or data can be stored, used especially for videos and data. One Blu-ray disc is equals to 5 DVDs. So the next one is digital versatile disc that we have spoken already in the difference. It is a kind of an optical device which provides us 4.7 gigabytes of information, GB of storage information, enough for storing 120 minutes of movie or a video. Then comes the Blu-ray ROM or Blu-ray disc. So these are highly capacitive in terms of storage, which provides 25 GB to 50 GB of capacity. The name Blu-ray is derived from a blue-violet color laser which is used for reading and writing the information which is stored onto the Blu-ray disc. Then the next kind of secondary storage device we have is a warm disk. Stands for write once, read many. It's kind of a disk. Okay, so it is a CD-ROM, but do not store large amount of data. It can be storing an about of it can store large amount of data. It can store about 200 GB of data. Then a zip drive, it is a combination of optical and magnetical technology which consists of a size about 3.5 inches and looks like a floppy disk, but it can store a large amount of data than compared to the floppy disk. We have USB flash storage devices or the pen drives that you have seen commonly. So the flash drives are commonly used as pen drives, are most popular in nowadays, comes around different capacity 256 GB up to. It is kind of memory storage devices that is used as plug and play device. You can plug and it is ready to access the information. You need not to install any software for reading and writing the USB. So they are preferred as the best kind of storage devices because they are fast, small and have longer life than the other kind of storage device. And they are also considered as mass storage device because it supports all the modern operating systems which are like Linux, Mac OS and Windows, etc. The USB comes in different versions by improvising the technology. Okay, this is 8,000 times larger than the original IBM USB which was invented. So now we have USB 3.0. Okay, in the later version we had 2.0 and 1.0 version. Okay, that is the speed how it varies. In 1.0, 12 megabits per second will be transferring speed, high speed, when the 2.0 is 480 Mbps and in the 3.0 it is 4.8 Gbps, that is gigabits per second. The intersection of the USB can be seen over here. There are different levels where the entire thing is been placed. You can see the memory chip. Okay, that is a or memory chip. This is a small chip which stores all the information. This is the driver or the control which controls the entire thing. Okay, so the next we have is a portable disk. So PSD stands for portable storage disk, a kind of small storage, okay, which you can keep it in your pocket. We will call it as external hard disk. Okay, so external hard disk is kind of a hard disk which can be carried from one place to another place. It is not directly attached to the computer. It can be attached for a purpose to take the backup of the computer system. The last concept that is in term of memory is a cache memory, or we will call it as cache memory also. Cache memory is a small amount of high speed memory present between the primary memory and the CPU. Okay, once I asked the student to pronounce this specific word, okay, few students started pronouncing it as Chachi memory. It's not Chachi memory, it's a cache memory. So cache or cache memory is a kind of memory that is very small and present near to the CPU. Why it is present near to the CPU? So that any intermediate results or any files that need to be accessed are present at a very faster rate. So it is a very small, and there are three types: L1 which is located inside the CPU, L2 near to the CPU, okay, L3 nearby, okay, north bridge or nearby to the RAM. So internally, and all this explanation is not required actually. So the cache memory is faster because the access time is very much less because that is present, okay, within the CPU. We can consider that is the fastest memory considering of all the memories. Okay, thank you for being patient. This finishes the chapter number 2. In the next class, we'll take up the new chapter. Thank you.